Talk Show.
It's the Daily Talk Show, episode 469.
It's Weekend Banter.
Yeah.
Okay, clap again.
Yeah. We've got Queen Gronk back in the building, Gemma Watts and Peter Shepherd.
Tall Gronk.
We're still running
That
that.
upsets
Hey.
me.
Unless you somehow get short, you're always going to be Tall
Always
Gronk.
tall
He
Gronk.
did a whole TEDx talk about having to deal with being a tall guy.
It's very on brand.
It was. I
we
have to
talk-
lean into it, right?
Can we talk about that?
Sure.
That was amazing.
It was very good.
Yeah, it was.
So the Gronk Squad went to support Peter Shepherd. I mean, if we had all of the Gronk Squad there, that we would have filled the whole venue, to be honest. But, mate, you smashed it. This is what I didn't know about the TEDx stuff. So you go TED, right? You see these videos. You see Brene Brown. That's where she did her first talk that sort of
Shot her?
shot her up.
Wow.
I was going to say trajectory.
Yeah.
You still
Shot
said
her
it
into
wrong.
a good
Stratosphere.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my
Which that got so many views.
Is this a TED talk?
And then they what I worked out from this event, because I didn't know, was that they license out TEDx to all these people, also universities and things around the globe, and then they get all these helpers to come and put on these events. So there's like a real investment into putting on a TEDx event. You don't do it because you want to make cash. You do it because you want to spread ideas. And so
I think, Pete, your microphone's very close to your nose, so I'm getting a fair bit of breathing going.
That's
There
just
we
me
go.
breathing.
Yeah,
Sorry,
there we
guys.
go. That was literally, it was every time he took a breath.
yeah.
So I just thought
I'm working on my nose breathing. So
yeah, it's great breathing.
And so there's one thing about the TED brand is it's super strong. And I've seen a few people that have really led with it. As soon as they've done it, it's like front and center, business card, LinkedIn.
Yeah.
There's one guy in particular, I watched his talk and it was great. So it's almost, I mean, your talk was great. So put it in your LinkedIn
Okay, I'll
and your
add it-
business card.
I'll add it to my
But so
LinkedIn.
how do you get the call up to do a TEDx talk?
It's a good question. It was, I think, from memory, either I reached out or they reached out to me and said, we're running this event. There's an application process. So you have to pitch your idea, submit a form and an application, and then you have like a phone interview essentially because to your point, TED are super protective of their brand. So those running the event, those running TEDx have to present it in a certain way. They have to have people that they've vetoed. They have to have ideas that are interesting, and then they have to run the events in a way that is in alignment with the TED brand. So it was sort of a pretty exhaustive process to go through, but ultimately I was asked to be on the stage eventually, and it was fun.
Shortlisted, put on.
Shortlisted.
And so you get, what's that phone interview like? What do you,
It was.
who are you talking to?
I'm talking to
Ted?
Yeah.
Did they know that you don't take phone calls?
There's this guy called Ted.
Oh, yeah, phone anxiety.
Yeah.
It was tough. It was anxiety inducing. But it was a 20-minute phone call. It was like, tell us about your idea and have you spoken about it before and have you done much public speaking and like, what does it mean to you to speak at TED and that kind of thing.
Aussies or Americans?
Yeah, they were the organisers that ran the Uni Melb event. So they would have been there on the day.
What was your take, Gemma, on the TED talk?
I loved it. I stayed for the whole day.
Did you?
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I watched yours, Pete, and I left.
I mean, it was handy that it was first so you could do that, right?
I was so lucky.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't seen my son and my
Yeah,
wife
that's
for.
fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thrilled that you guys were even there. It was crazy.
and it was old mate's birthday.
Yeah, it was my birthday.
Oh, it's your birthday?
Yes, and we had cookies. Like we were the only ones that were eating.
Yeah, and
in
you
that.
left your rubbish behind.
Well, no, I actually left cookies behind.
Gronk move.
To be clear, it was a bit of a bystander thing because who brought the cookies?
No, I brought the cookies and I left first and I was like, here's the cookies, guys. I'm going to go because I don't need them. You guys are staying. You could eat the cookies. And so then you left them. What, did you just leave them on the seat?
No, I left
on
them
the
for
ground.
Gemma.
No,
I
you
left them
didn't
for-
because I'd already said I didn't want the cookies.
No, I
didn't get any cookies and I was the one that did the talk.
I moved seats. I
Because
went
of the
front
cookies.
centre after you
Really?
left.
I mean,
yes.
there's always Mason to blame it on. He was there.
That was definitely.
Did you leave the cookies, Mr. 97?
No, absolutely not.
Anyway, it was very. What does TED stand for? Do we know?
Technology, entertainment and design, I believe.
No pressure.
Where
Yeah.
did you fit into?
Good question. I have no idea.
There's some imposter syndrome there.
Is that true? Mr. 97?
Oh, well, if
I
it
don't know.
is.
Technology, entertainment, and design.
I mean,
whiz.
I didn't know that was a
Yeah.
thing. It was an acronym.
Mm.
I guess they've just buried that because it's any brand. Like you lead with the thing, we're going to talk about technology, entertainment, design. And then you're like,
pretty
this is a
broad.
bit bigger than
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah.
Kentucky Fried Chicken. They do more than chicken.
More than KFC. Yeah,
They
yeah.
do chips. What was your favourite talk there, Gem?
Obviously.
Outside of Pete.
Oh, I liked all of them. I liked that girl that was talking about sex. That
She
was
was
really
great.
good.
Mm.
And they're also the founder of Connor's Run. She was amazing. They were all amazing. But I liked the sex one. I don't know.
Yeah,
Why?
What stood out? I mean, you just
Yeah.
she
top
was.
line.
She was
Sex.
great.
Yeah,
She
she
was
was
good.
great.
What does that mean though? What is it like? If
Oh,
someone
if
who
were
was
you
there-
not there? Oh, that's
No.
right.
I left. Yeah.
Well, sex is just as much about periods as it is about sex, which was the new thing. Like she was talking about all sexual health in general.
Okay. Sexual health.
Yeah.
So not
Normalizing the conversation, basically. We should talk more about the things that surround sex because it's the one thing that's universal and it's like often tabooed, like talking about the fact that 50% of the population in the world have a period once a month. Like we don't talk about it. That was sort of the premise, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
There was someone who did a sketch of your
Yeah.
talk.
Oh, that was amazing.
phenomenal.
Oh,
We
you
should
mean
get-
like a drawing, not like a spoof.
No, it was like, yeah, it was like a little cartoon.
Like a
It was
doodle.
Yeah.
it was amazing. You should get that printed, put it
She
up on the
did
wall.
it during the talk. I thought she
All
must have
Josh and I did was
taken-
eat cookies.
I thought she must have taken notes and gone home.
Yeah.
But oh my
I
god!
I
Imagine
always-
being good at something.
Well, I always when I see those things, the story I tell is one day I'll have an iPad Pro, and I will do that.
And you do it on the iPad?
Yeah, but
Okay.
but until then,
Keep us
the-
posted.
this was a
One day
sketch
you were
pack.
going to write a book.
so that's what about it. But there's actually there's a whole industry or a career of doing this where conferences will hire people to go to the front of the room
Yeah.
and they sketch out the whole idea, and so by the end of each talk they have full like big infographics.
That's crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
Sick. What I loved about your talk was that it the end connected to the start and you threaded it all through. And I thought it was really clever.
Thanks,
and I
man.
liked your dance move where you sort of got into it.
Did I do
Yeah,
that or
that
was that
was
in my
you-
head?
no,
No,
you
you
did.
did
Oh,
it.
damn it.
I
Damn
don't remember
it.
that bit.
I sort of blacked out at one point and I was like, I don't really know what
Oh,
I'm doing.
that's right.
here.
The
Yeah.
step.
Yeah.
Did I do
it's
that?
a two-step.
Yeah.
Two-step. And then I put it out on Instagram with the song
Yeah, I
Two-Step.
enjoyed that.
Can you do the two-step? Anyway,
Clever.
It's big on TikTok.
so first TED Talk. I know you've talked quite a bit publicly. How do you go into actually framing it and prepping it?
Yeah, it was interesting. Like the whole experience was really interesting because what I've found is it's very different to a 45-minute keynote, which I've done a few of before, where you have literally 45 minutes and a Q&A at the end, usually a 15-minute Q&A, whereas TED is so dialed in that it's like you've got between 10 to 15 minutes. And the idea that the research that I did, I was basically under the impression that a really good TED Talk you can summarize in one sentence. And so how do I create a TED Talk that's based around one sentence but goes for 12 to 13 minutes? And then the other idea that I lent into, which someone said to me, was it's almost like every line has to be tweetable. Like every line you have to see and it has to stand alone on its own.
That's why you were saying hashtag so many times.
That's what I was saying. Yeah. Human Periscope on Twitter, everybody.
Formerly 2 meter tweeter, which I think
Yeah.
is the best thing I've ever heard.
He actually changed. You changed your name after being on our show.
I did. It was actually under your guidance, I think, maybe. You sort
A
of
bit of a rebrand.
helped me through the rebrand. So I was 2 meter Peter / 2 meter tweeter when I started my daily talk show journey. And I sit before you, Human Periscope.
Which I think it
/
works.
Tall Gronk,
Tall Gronk, yeah.
depending on who you
Well,
ask.
you had the humanperiscope.com or whatever the brand. I was
Yeah,
just
it's
like,
better
let's
for
just,
SEO.
Yeah, let's just sort
It's
of
a great-
synthesize
yeah,
the
yeah,
whole thing.
Yeah.
And then what about the memorizing of
Oh, yeah. So,
something?
so that was kind of new to me, honestly, in the sense that if I do a 45-minute keynote, it's not like memorize word for word. I have like talking points that I know I'm going to hit and stories that I know I want to tell. But it's kind of, and Craig Harper's talked about this on this podcast, it's kind of fluid in the sense that you see the room, you realize they're connecting to a certain topic or an idea. And
So
so
it's
you,
just a drag race out the front.
it's fine. That's me breathing again. And then you take the story down there. But whereas a TED Talk, it was essentially a script. And I almost reversed engineered it where you get a TED coach. They give you a speaking coach that helps you out. And she said, can you send me the script for your talk? And I was like, I don't have one. So I did like a 12-minute riff essentially, which I'd done before on this idea of imposter syndrome. And then I put it through a transcription software and I sent it to her.
Did you at least clean it
Jesus.
up or did you allow it?
I cleaned it up a little bit,
Okay.
yeah, and then sent it to her and she was like, this is great, add to this, build on that. So that was kind of how I started it. So I still started with a riff, but it gave me a transcript and then I kind of worked off that. And the trick that I had, which I used to do way back when, was I put key talking points in the shower, like in a plastic sleeve and hung it up in the shower. So every time I was in the shower, I just read through the talking points and sort of tried to just ingrain it in my head.
Plastic sleeve, like one of the ones that you'd get in like a binder or
like
whatever.
Yeah.
Did you like
It's a water-
tape
it was
up
my
the top?
waterproofing.
Did you tape it up the top?
No, I just
that
put
you
it
get-
high enough so the
so that
water
no
couldn't
one-
quite get in.
Okay.
Oh, he's tall enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
I mean, the talking thing's interesting because there's different types of speaking. There's that type of speaking. Then there's the stuff that you do, Gem, a lot, which is the MCing, facilitating an event or whatever.
I'm very good at it.
Yeah. Well, it's a different, but it's a different skill. Tommy
Yeah.
and I are doing a Nandos event
Nando's.
next week.
Nice.
Where-
MC.
yeah.
Fancy.
Well,
MC.
basically they said, "Hey, Tommy, do you want to do it?" And he said, "Only if my mate Josh does it too." And
What a honey.
Someone's going to carry
Yeah.
the load.
and so they've
Well, I'm glad it's not in the beauty space. If you were emceeing a beauty event, I'd be like, I'm sorry, what?
and so I mean emceeing a little bit of a different beast because they send you like, this is the talking points. Here I am
Yeah.
trying to think of peri jokes.
How are you going with the peri?
Not
joke?
great.
Have you got any you want to try?
Yeah, this would be a good time to do
Yeah.
it.
No, it's just like I was thinking of.
I really want him to embarrass himself.
No, it was just like, who's excited to be here? Like, just pump up the
That's
audience
not
a
a
little bit.
joke.
It's not a joke.
That's housekeeping.
No, but
No, but maybe this is time to get some
Let's get some
MC
advice off a pro.
advice from the pro.
yeah. What does it take to be a master of ceremonies at a Nando's event?
I mean, this is the issue. Whenever anyone asks me for advice, I'm like, I'm just naturally very good at it.
So then, what do you do? What do you? How do you prepare? If,
Well, I think for me, it was 18 years of being on stage.
yeah.
Which I did a few productions, school productions.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, so but then what's-
Crocodile Rock sung the whole thing.
What's the process? So
Elton
to
John.
go into any, say you did Mecca
Yeah.
at Mecca Land, and you were hosting up on stage.
Well, I think the beauty of it for me is that everything I'm doing is beauty. So, like, I already know the brands, and the bulk of the time I've got a relationship with who I'm interviewing.
So is that to say you don't do any prep?
Oh, no, I definitely do prep, but like to me, a lot of it is stuff that I've already got in my head.
Mm.
And
So
then
do you come up with jokes though?
No, I don't come up with jokes.
No jokes.
No.
Okay.
No. Sometimes they just come to me.
What about things like interacting with the crowd? We're going to have a group of foodies, like food influencers.
You guys
Okay,
you can
here's
come
a
if you want,
fun-
Gemma. I can get you.
Oh,
Little invite.
fabulous.
Maybe got me one.
She looks really keen.
What will I wear? My fave. It's like
She'll be at
it's,
Taco Bell.
okay. It feels like such an obvious one. Is there like a audience questions at the end?
No, it's
No, it's
literally
very
like
much just
saying,
like bring a bit of vibe, direct.
I don't even think there was any mention of vibe.
My favorite emceeing tip, which now doesn't apply, is when you throw it to the audience for questions, there's always going to be a silence. So have your own questions up your sleeve. So you can be like, well, I'm going to kick things off.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
that.
there's not going to be
Nice.
a Q&A.
That's good.
Okay,
well, then I
we
have
can do
nothing
we
for
can
you.
do what we want.
Yeah.
I remember Jules Lund saying he is the guy that has to say the speech into his phone. This is probably back in the day to memorize, and then play it back to himself, which was the advice he gave to me. So I'm thinking it was probably early days in his career, but that's how you memorize. And he needed the structure. He needed to know that he had it all worked out. Whereas
I do that.
there's a bunch of other people, which I think I've even worked out. So I find it hard to do all the prep. I get like a bit bogged down and a bit, in my head. And then if I have a few things, a few dot points or something, I then can start enjoying the moment, start feeling the room. And like, I think that's what
It's
you and
more
I, Josh.
I'm the
names.
opposite.
It's more like if you have to.
Yeah.
I called two mistakes I made in court announcing. Called a guy named Jesus Jesus, which is an easy mistake based on spelling.
Yeah.
And the other one was I would do women's basketball and then a men's game.
Yeah.
And it was Stephen, but it was with the PH.
Oh,
And I just
no.
said Stephanie. And it got a good laugh. But
Poor Stephen.
It's really
it's-
low level.
Yeah.
sort of-
Poor Steve.
Yeah,
I
but
think
it's like a.
It's okay to read. It's okay
Yeah.
just to look down at the name if you want to get it right.
Absolutely.
And so, do you think that you're more of a freestyle gal?
What I do is I will.
Gal.
Yes.
He loves saying gal, though.
Hey,
We're trying to retire
Both
that.
called me Double D when I
No,
walked
it's
for the
in.
denim.
Josh did.
That was for
Yeah,
the
then
denim.
you did it.
Yeah, because I was making fun of Josh.
Okay. Sure.
She's wearing double denim, everyone.
She's
For
wearing
those not
double
playing.
down.
Yeah, they're just a regular D. So my prep is to do a whole script and like thorough, read it a couple of times, have it in front of me, but then I won't look at it. But it's just like nice to know that it's there.
Mm.
But I think for me, writing it, like I'm just very visual. So if I've looked at a whole script,
Mhm.
again, it's theatre. Like I look at the script and then I'm like, okay, I have an understanding of what I need to say.
Interesting.
Mm.
I think I'm more with you. I almost think of it as improv, which is like you have a few ideas and you might have a partner, which good improv does, and you kind of just build off each other and just kind of free flow. That's how I think of my work a lot of the time. Is coaching is about improv, is speaking is about improv, is about reacting and asking questions. And I think naturally you two are probably practicing MCing by interviewing people on this podcast like
Definitely.
every single day.
Which is freestyle because we don't really follow.
What's trying to work out though what character you're playing? Like, are you playing a sort of fun version? Because we can have serious conversations and ask serious questions, but maybe that wouldn't fly necessarily for a Nando's event. But maybe also being super
I get
silly.
a bit of that.
Like, do I? Like, I straight away go to chicken costume.
That's
I'm
where
like,
my head went
yeah,
too.
Yeah, if like just trying to hold a microphone, and Tommy actually has to hold the mic for me because
You've just got to read the room though, because like I'm doing an event next week that will be very, very serious, but then Mecca Land, it's like a younger audience, so I could have fun with it.
But then the MC, it's not you. I mean, usually a good master of ceremonies is guiding the event.
Yes.
So it's not about you.
Yeah.
It's, you're not meant
As
to walk
much as
away
I would
going,
like to
how
make
good
it
was the
about me."
chicken suit?
Yeah.
Could it be? What about this? As a first one, this is breaking the ice, but also housekeeping at the same time. Who here needs to go to the toilet right now?
No,
Hands
we're not,
up.
We're not doing that.
And then I say, because the toilets are over here.
Absolutely not.
Bit of interactive
That's
crowd.
fine.
I hate it.
It's. Do you think it would get a chuckle or no?
Probably not.
No, you'd
No,
get a
because
lot
people
of
think-
confused people.
There's no
Okay.
punchline.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the punchline is it's over there.
I mean, that's more of a fact.
Yeah. So, the other option I had was interaction wise. All right, let's start. Like we're at Nando's. Let's talk bastings. Lemon and Herb, who are you?
Oh, that's
Right.
better. I like that.
And then it's also okay.
Yeah.
Can we get the extra hots? How many extra hots have we got?
Yeah, I love that.
Something like if you were to pull out some unusual facts about Nando's, that'd be kind of like just randomly. He's just this guy knows his
Okay,
shit.
favorite Nando's stores. Who's like? I love Smith Street.
Yeah. Oh,
That sort of thing. That could be fun.
Or a name like Joe at Smith Street always gives me an extra sprinkle of the.
So I need to work out names.
Yeah.
I mean,
We just make them up.
I got asked.
There'll be a Joe, I'm sure.
I got asked to MC a friend's wedding, and I said no because
Wow.
I wanted to enjoy it. I didn't want the pressure. I was just too busy with this shit.
If it was Ben Fordham, he would only go if it was MCing, which I respect.
But he's amazing at it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard
Yeah,
that.
That interview was phenomenal, by the way. He's an absolute legend.
He's
I
an,
love
he's
him.
an animal.
Yeah.
They gave me a Ben Fordham bottle opener just
Oh,
before.
okay. Well, I didn't get one of
No,
those. So.
sorry.
Well, I gave my one. Tommy's got his still.
I've got a
Stubby holder.
Stubby holder. Which,
Nice.
I mean,
For
I
all
just,
of his stubbies.
I
Yeah,
just
that's
keep, I
handy
just
for
keep
you.
it for my soda water. And then
you doing
this
with your
guy,
hand, by the way?
You said no.
this professional guy, I said no. And then I went to the wedding, and this guy was so good.
This
It
has
was-
been discussed on the show before.
Yeah.
They brought in a random.
Mate, oh, I'm so glad I didn't do it because he was so
Listens
professional.
to the show.
Really?
It was a real MC. Just gathered the people.
Was it
Like,
Mike Larkin?
Nah.
No, he does a fair bit of weddings.
He
Also tried to buy your parents' house.
Yeah, that was my first episode that
Oh, yeah.
conversation
yeah,
came
bloody
up.
Mike. Bloody Mike.
And
Larkins.
so I feel like I'm getting more comfortable with those types of things because there's
You'll be
reading
fine.
there's the reading the room, but there's also just having fun with
Absolutely.
it as well.
I think
Yeah.
if people see you two having fun, then they'll naturally
Exactly.
have
So
fun
I just
as well.
need to make sure Tommy's having fun.
Yeah.
Because there's certain things that I think is funny, like when he asked me to move the bottle of water and I move it inch by inch.
Yeah.
That's a bit of
If you
shit.
don't have siblings, but there's
No.
annoying friends. Yeah, you get it. Do you have
Yeah.
siblings?
Older brother and sister. Yeah.
Oh, you're one of three.
Would
I
you
am.
punch
Yeah.
on?
No, I was kind of the mediator. My brother and sister used to fight a little bit, or quite a lot actually, growing up, and I was like the mediator as
So
the
you would
youngest.
coach that. You would
I
coach them.
basically
then.
coached them through it. So, yeah.
The worst. What's the worst thing your brother or sister's done to you? Because throw a pan at your head. I don't know. Steal your
Man,
chocolate.
siblings
I
Steal.
hit my brother with a golf club.
My brother held
Yeah.
me down, had my arms like this, so he can't. It's like he's on top of me, straddling me.
Really?
I'm like this. No, it gets worse, Pete. Holds my nose. So spits straight down the big loogie.
no!
Just a teenage loogie. straight into my mouth.
That's not okay.
That's
That is not okay.
But what's the like? I've had
I
like
cannot imagine having siblings.
No,
That's
I,
my-
but I didn't have any of that, bro. Well, we all got on pretty well, I think.
That's nice.
Compared to
I love
that.
my bro. We get on great.
I literally had like my brother, I'm sure, like on top of me saying, "I'm gonna fucking kill you," which is quite full on, isn't it?
It's all bullshit.
Yeah, like I'm here, but yeah, especially 3 boys.
Typewriter's
Yeah.
the worst.
Yeah.
It's definitely like we had heads through walls,
Wow.
like
Oh my
it
god.
actually doesn't take much to get a head through like a plaster wall, especially when beds are up against. When you're a kid, you'd have like your bed
Right
up against the
wall.
wall.
That was
No,
great.
I was always in the middle of the
Really?
Oh, really?
Well, hang on, what?
Yeah, what?
Why?
So it'd be like
Bedside
off.
tables on either
oh my
side.
goodness!
As a kid, though, we just scared
bedside
you'd fall off.
Jesus.
No.
But also bedside.
Were you wearing a tiara from the age of 2?
Yes, and my dad I used to make him go on all fours and like I would sit on his back and he would have to take me to bed and then tip me over onto the bed. And then
Love it.
once I banged my head on the bedside table and that's my 2 front teeth
Oh,
came out. It's fine. They were loose.
Yeah.
they were.
I got money for it.
They were the
$2,
first
yeah.
ones. They were
Yeah.
the first round.
Did you say $2, Pete?
Is that right? $2 per teeth. Per tooth.
We literally spoke about that on Thursday.
Oh.
Well,
yeah.
because Mr. 97 just yelled out $2. And I was like, so is that the number?
Yeah, I got
Is there
$2.
a-
I
That's what
thought
I
it was
was
$1
thinking,
maybe early on.
Mine was 2.
I think mine was only child.
Yeah. $5
bucks.
note.
$50
25 per tooth.
a
Molars,
50.
45.
Yeah. Just a some
I've,
sort
New
of investment.
toys.
An investment property.
I've got a new pet peeve, which is... Which
Don't
I should
cheat.
take a leaf out of your book, Pete. It's being on the phone. So it's like speaking to a friend. I'll give you this example. Just on the phone to Amy, and we're having a chat, and I was I've got a call coming through, and it's from a number I don't know.
Yeah.
But I got to answer it. When you've got a business I think just having a business means that you might need to take a call
I disagree.
that isn't yours.
Let
so
them
you
go to voicemail.
Well,
So
I feel
I'm-
the same
I'm
way,
busy.
which is why only Tommy's number is on the website, because it used to be mine. I had a number that I purposefully, like, was a Skype number that I didn't check. And then we're like, well, if we're going to have a number, we should at least
Yeah.
so
probably.
my number's on there
yeah,
now.
so Tommy gets calls.
But the worst is when you stop a nice conversation and it's a fucking telemarketer. Like
that's not a new pet peeve.
no, but today
It's
I
a new
just
spin on the peeve.
no, but for me it's like I was on the last straw.
You didn't talk to him, did you? Just hung up?
I hung up on him, which
See,
was
I-
annoying.
yeah. Just
But
let it
for-
go to voicemail.
But I just
Yeah.
disrupted the moment
Yeah,
with,
it's-
with my wife.
Yeah.
So what'd you
What
do?
a disaster.
Was she-
I hope you're able to find time for another moment.
No, but I mean this is where there should be a rule. Do you have a rule of not answering? So
No.
you don't.
Just see if I feel like it. I answer when Josh calls. I love a chat to Josh and Breezer.
Yeah.
we do enjoy
He
that.
called for one thing the other night, and like 45 minutes later, I'm like, I gotta
I was going through
take
the
this face
sales
mask
deck.
off.
No, there is. I was saying
Yeah,
that
we're
to-
chatting business.
I was saying to a mate just yesterday, I won't go to your birthday party, like the other people and all that sort of thing, but I'll always take a phone call,
Yeah,
which
right.
can be annoying for, like, even this morning walking in and I was talking to Nasan, my mate, and like it went for like 45 minutes once I was here sort of doing stuff. But I love AirPods in, just walking and talking.
Walking and talking.
Yeah.
Oh, I sit down and have a chat. I
Oh,
love it.
Really?
that's a luxury.
Phone to ear.
Oh, phone to ear is
You're a
not
phone
good.
to ear gal.
Really?
Wow.
It's not great. I always
I get
feel,
makeup on everything,
Yeah.
but that's fine.
even if Brie has her phone near me, I feel like I can feel it. Anyone else have that? Especially if it's near the testicle area? I'm straight away
yeah, definitely.
like, no, but I think that I don't know whether it's like a placebo sort of thing.
I know what you mean.
But sometimes I say, is your phone near me right now? And she'll just like, be like yeah, I could feel it.
There's also heat coming off it. But
Yeah.
I know what you mean. The
Sorry, I just heard someone yelling at
Yeah, that's fine. We're in Abbotsford.
laptop on
Lap.
lap, you feel it.
But it doesn't
Yeah.
feel like the radiation-y sort of feeling that it's
I reckon
almost
it's
like
a similar one for
I
me.
think I could almost feel if she was getting a text message if vibrate was on. It's just on
Is
the
this dick
extra.
chat again?
No,
Every
this-
fucking time.
No, this is definitely not dick.
Okay.
There's a big difference between dicks and testicles.
Okay. It just
It seems a lot like
Dangerously
it,
Yeah.
close. Yeah.
every time.
potentially. It is the Daily Talk Show.
Pete, you're flying to New York Fucking lucky.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Hasn't packed.
Have not packed, no. That's what this afternoon's for. I'll figure it out. And I am going to challenge myself to do carry-on only. No check-in.
Easy.
Easy, right?
Definitely easy. I did it when I went to New York last.
Yeah, I mean,
last
you
year.
just have
Likewise, yeah.
you just have someone else that carries all your shit.
No, I had
This makes me feel
A7S.
sick.
Like I had
Really?
all my camera set up. Like a
It's
bunch
so
of
much
stuff.
better.
Shoes.
It's so much better.
But I did like what?
Shoes take
No,
up
no,
so
no,
much
no.
room.
What is it?
What
It's
you're
hot at the
wearing
moment. It's hot in New York.
Yeah, it's like 25 to 30 every day.
Yeah, I mean, you do wear the similar thing
Yeah,
every
exactly.
time
So
I see
easy.
you.
I just wear
So
5 of the same t-shirt, a few pairs of pants, a few pairs of shorts, and away you go.
trying to get your double denim in, that's
No.
a full bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also
thick.
denim is heavy.
I'm not a good packer.
But like the mobility is just so appealing to me, where you like, especially when you get to LA or you get to JFK, the airport, and you're just straight through, and everyone's standing there looking miserable, waiting for their luggage, and I'm
You
just
don't
like,
have
I'm
to wear
already on the
makeup.
train,
And so
already on the train,
New York, what are you doing there?
working for a couple of weeks. So I'm catching up with a bunch
Let's pretend I'm a customs agent.
of customs agent. Oh, if you're a customs agent, I'm here visiting friends.
What are you doing here? good. Just trying to get
Here
your
visiting
story.
friends. Yeah.
Just getting your story straight.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you're not
Which is
getting
also true.
You're not getting paid by any US company while you're there specifically. Yeah,
No,
you're fine.
Of course not.
See, Josh, he's also, getting you on the right track.
No, it's good. This is good practice for next time I
No,
get
they
asked
are
that
pretty.
question.
When you go to the States, it is. Have you been, Gemma?
No.
They're pretty
One of my
strict.
girlfriends got deported recently.
Oh,
What?
really?
I
What for?
can't go into it.
Oh my
Really?
Oh, you
goodness.
can't go into it.
It's something to do with modelling, I'm
What a
guessing.
drama.
No, why?
Well, it could be. It's either cocaine or modelling.
Or a model smuggling in cocaine.
Cocaine,
Very
yeah,
likely.
yeah.
Why is that where everyone's mind's gone?
Well, you can't. They don't.
Not all my friends are models.
They don't
Name
want.
2 non-model friends.
You three.
Us 3, yeah. And 6, 4.
No,
Seb's
he's
is a model.
He's a
Oh, no,
model.
you're right. Sorry. He is.
Well, they ask, what are you doing here? Because they don't want people over there working without visas,
Yeah.
which makes sense. But I mean, you stand out and you just put a nice smile on. They're
Yeah.
like, Aussie.
Yeah, the Australian guy.
Yeah.
I'm just here to visit friends.
And so you're going over to visit friends.
Yeah.
And
Which you can, to be clear, that you can, if you are working and not getting paid by a US company, and you are just like, you can go to conferences, you can do business meetings.
Yeah, which is one.
You can. I've said that multiple times. I'm here for business or whatever.
the end, if you fly into LA and you talk like, the movie stuff, it's a bit different.
Mm.
Because like it's very because you might be there
course, if you've got-
trying to land a job,
Interesting. Yeah.
so it's even worse. Like, I'm a musician.
Yeah.
All right. Why are you here? Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Where are you staying?
In
Mm.
where am I staying?
No,
I've got a few places. So I'm starting in a hotel, which is right near one of my friends' houses, where I'll be doing a lot of non-work related conversations. And then I'm
Which is
actually
fine.
I'm house
That's
sitting.
It's so
I'm
fine.
house sitting for a friend
that's
for
sick.
10 days after that in Long Island City, which he's got this amazing apartment on the other side of the river that overlooks Manhattan. It's ridiculous.
Do they have any animals you have to look after?
No, plants. So his fiance is like, she's called the Broadway botanist, and she's like,
Jeez.
Well, is that an
next
Instagram
level.
account?
yeah.
Good name.
Broadway botanist.
Yeah, so
The word
she's like
botanist is
next
hard.
level in indoor plants and design of people's environments, basically. And so her house, their apartment is covered. It's amazing, covered in all this greenery. So I have to look after all of that. So I'm a little bit nervous about that.
So
Yeah, I
that's
would
the
be.
rule.
Yeah, the rule is you look after. I'm giving them a bit of cash too, but not as much as the hotels in New York are so expensive.
It's ridiculous.
And the dollar,
Absurd.
yeah, the dollar shit. at
The
the
dollar
moment
is
as well.
awful.
Broadway botanist.
Should be fun though.
And so, have they set any other boundaries?
No, that's it as far as I know.
You sleep in their bed?
I'm having dinner with them like 2 nights before, so I'm sure I'll get the ground rules there. But as far as I know, it's keeping the plants alive, essentially. Which feels like a bit of pressure.
And are you hanging out with Seth Godin?
I'm going to probably spend some time up with Seth at Hastings, yeah.
And you're also
the
catching
team.
up with Brad Blanks,
HQ, catching up
Oh,
with Brad
yes.
next week. Yeah,
which will be perfect.
catching up with him next week.
In regards to plants,
Talk
Bree
to
and
me.
I are trying to keep herbs alive.
Oh, yeah. How's that going?
It was difficult. The first time they died, and it was because Bree put the plant in the fridge
Why?
I'm sorry.
because
She
she's
what?
like, got to keep it cold or whatever. I'm like, nah.
Beg your pardon?
It died. It died. And it was
Yeah.
like, so that was like, it was a whole plant with like
In
a
the
pot
fridge?
in the fridge. I was just like, what are you doing? It's like, oh, I got to keep it cold. I'm like, no, I think next time let's put it in the sun. It needs sunlight.
I mean, I don't know a lot about plants, but
It doesn't seem right.
It doesn't
does
go in the
Fridge is
fridge.
for food.
I think
She said there's specific ones where it's like, oh, they need to stay cold. But
It's,
then
wi-
it's like,
it's
how
winter
do you-
here at the moment.
but they survive
Spring. now.
outdoors. I don't.
with the sun. Yeah, so I don't think
Yeah.
that was
Very confusing.
that died. That was
Okay.
a basil.
You
And Bree
don't
just said
say.
basil is just really hard to keep alive.
It's very limp.
Especially when you put it in the fridge.
when you
Just
put it in the fridge.
buy it.
No, but this is the problem. Basil is like the cost of Uber Eats delivery. Like it's quite expensive.
I love that was easier for you to say than $5.
Which
That's your benchmark for $5
Yeah.
Uber Eats delivery.
yeah, no, it's true. Yesterday on Fat Fridays, we did the McDonald's Monopoly
yes.
thing.
Oh.
That is like childhood memories of that game. I used to
Yeah, but it's not like childhood. That's the thing, Pete.
play. Yeah.
It's not how it used to be.
Oh,
Is
okay.
it
It's
safe
not-
to assume you've not won anything?
No, we did.
Well, it's not Sundays. It's not fries. Remember how
Oh,
you had like
yeah,
a
yeah,
free
yeah.
cheeky,
Yeah, it was awesome.
cheeky little what are they called?
Cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger. Yeah. Oh, used to win so many things.
Yeah, free cheesies.
I
all the
remember-
time.
Never
rem-
really did it.
Well, they used to take. It was very loose back in the day. You'd pass over your little voucher, and they just throw them underneath the till.
Yeah.
Fucking loose hands over here. Just sneak
Oh,
under.
nice.
Pull back
Take it
through
back.
a whole stack of. So I've got a sundae. I've got chippies.
Cheeky.
That's
Two
so naughty.
cheeseburgers.
Well done.
But then I even had friends who
Wow.
worked there that would hand them back to me.
Nice.
He's a bit of a scumbag like that. Isn't
There
he?
were these
Especially as a kid.
tiny little
Mate,
things.
I don't leave fucking rubbish at a TED talk. That's
That was-
on you, buddy.
I didn't bring the rubbish.
You
That's a
left
really,
the rubbish.
that's a really good point, though,
It's,
isn't it?
no,
Anyway.
it's not actually that good.
So anyway,
I'm sorry I brought that
Yeah.
up.
yesterday, if you
I
missed
shot the guy in the head, but he gave me the fucking gun. Look,
it, escalated.
that's what you said.
That's not what I said. No, but the Monopoly thing, a $20 Amazon voucher I won.
Okay.
That sounds good, right?
Sounds
Yeah.
all right. I mean,
Not really.
Well, because you had to.
what can you get?
Using
No,
a
but-
voucher is such a pain.
But this is the pain bit.
True.
So I thought $20 voucher, that's awesome. Minimum spend of $79.
What?
So for me, that
there's
doesn't
always
really
a
feel.
catch.
That's horrible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not ideal. So anyway, I feel like we did the whole thing on the show where we use the app. It's all very
Yeah,
very
right.
annoying.
They're Mr. 97.
Are
What's
they
that?
paying you
Keaton-
to do that?
No,
Remember
no.
when you used to say no spend, no say?
Yeah, no,
That's
no
gone
say,
out
no
the
pay.
win-
No
oh,
say.
no.
No say,
Yeah.
no pay. No pay, no say.
No pay, no say.
But it's,
That's gone out.
It's
the
going to change very
window.
soon though,
Mm,
with
exciting.
advertising and things like that.
I know.
So
That's exciting.
yeah, that's good. What
Mhm.
else is happening? The footy's on grand final.
You excited, Gem?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about
Please
it in front
do.
of
Go
you.
for it.
No,
I
you
have my
can.
Richmond scarf in my bag, but I didn't want to rub it in.
Rub it in for who? I mean, I don't
Pete
go
goes
for
for Geelong.
Yeah.
It could have been them.
No, but you can't rub it in. There was just poor performance on the day.
It was a good match. Richmond were the better side.
Yeah, it wasn't really poor performance. Everyone
lost.
played very well.
I felt that near. I think it was it 3/4 time where they really dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this just what Pete told you on your walk on Monday?
No. I watched it. I'm
I
trying
was
to. They're
stressed.
starting to all combine. But did they play GWS?
No.
Who did GWS play?
Collingwood.
Yeah, they fucked up too.
Collingwood was fucked
yeah.
up,
Collingwood
and then
definitely
they
did.
punched out a heap of goals,
Mm.
Yeah.
and then still couldn't get through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
GWS.
That was a good game, actually.
Actually,
So
I
do you think GWS will actually win though now? Like, are they up against a much tougher side?
Yeah, they're up
Richmond?
against it. It's Richmond's to lose, is what I think.
Richmond's to lose?
As
What does
in,
that mean?
like-
They'll win it, but they'll be the ones that lose it if
I'm
anything.
very
Exactly. If they lose it, it's on them. Like they are
sure.
the better
My
If they
side.
don't
whole body
perform.
has tensed up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gemma's
I mean,
gotten
Are
very
you
sweaty.
going?
No, we have an annual grand final day party at the Watts household.
Can't believe you're not going.
I know.
What's the drink of choice?
Oh, I'll be on the beers.
On the beers?
On the
Yeah.
beers.
Is there a
Oh,
bowl
that's
of punch
frothies.
just for just getting?
No, but what we do, when I was very little, they'd get me to walk around with like a hat and the pies and stuff on it.
Oh, that's so
thing?
good.
Nice.
And now as an adult woman, I'm still doing it. But I'm like a shit faced by the time the pies
Can you
come
take
around.
a photo so I can put it on the
Of course.
Instagram account?
How many people are coming over?
I have no idea.
Because Tommy lives close by.
Oh,
yeah,
you
he
can
does
come.
too.
That's actually a great
Should pop
idea.
by.
Well,
Yeah.
we've got some friends coming over for a spa because I've got the spa.
I do know you've got
How
the
is
spa.
the spa?
Mate, I had a spa this morning.
Was, really?
I got up.
Before work?
I respect that.
Mate,
So
this
do
is
I.
how it happens. I get up, 5:30, pushed it to 5:40. Went downstairs, did some meditation. I was like, I'm gonna have a spa. So I
Yeah,
went out
love
by
it.
myself. I just folded
That is
over half the
awesome.
spa. I didn't take off the full
Yeah.
thing. Just got
That's
just
amazing.
nude in my spa. So fucking
That is
good.
incredible. Yeah.
I'm actually going to transition to
No, I know what.
meditation
In the spa. Yeah.
in the spa because your arms go they're weightlessness. You're experiencing weightlessness. It's just floating, and so I'm just going to meditate in the spa.
But it doesn't cancel out a
Outside.
shower. You
Yeah.
know that, yeah.
No, go straight upstairs and rinse off.
And I just feel
Funny,
like
I
you're the
hate a
type of
bath
guy.
but love a spa.
Yeah, that is.
But
kinda
in
odd.
fairness, the spa, it's not like the old school chemical spa. Like you
No.
don't
I know
get
this
out
because I
smelling.
did a drive-by of your house and jumped the fence.
Did you really jump the fence?
No, I didn't, but I know exactly where he lives.
No,
Drove
you did.
right up.
Can you see the spa on Google Maps?
Oh, maybe.
Have those people with the hard rubbish in your street, is that gone?
Oh, it looked like someone.
It was like an entire house on the front
yeah,
lawn.
my thing was it's probably deceased estate
Yeah, it would have to be the
Or-
amount of stuff that was out the front.
or a hoarder.
What sort
got
of stuff?
kicked out.
Did you
Like
take
everything.
anything? Was there
name,
anything
name
good?
one thing.
I don't know. I didn't slow it
TV?
down. I was too busy.
There's an
looking
old
for
piece
his
of shit one
house.
there. It was like disgusting.
Couch?
Yeah,
Mattress?
yeah.
Did you ever do this as a kid in like where you grew up?
He still does it.
Drive around looking at hard rubbish in those wealthy suburbs?
Be
No,
honest.
see, the thing-
You've spoken about it on the show before.
Yeah, Bondi. Yeah, I'm not trying to deny it over here.
Sorry.
But I'm saying Bulleen. No.
Nah.
Over in Bondi,
Oh,
they
right.
do heaps of hard rubbish, and I would be taking stuff and then selling it on the
Yeah.
North Sydney or
When I
Northern
was
beaches.
when I was at uni, we used to drive out to Toorak when it was hard rubbish and like get skis and stuff. Like people would
Jesus.
leave skis out there.
Yeah, man.
The saddest day of my
Crazy.
life was when I came home from a night out. So I was like 18 or 19, and my trampoline was on the front lawn with hard rubbish.
Dad put it out.
Yeah, I was like, I'm sorry, no one asked me about this, and they were like, "You're a grown up. You don't
Did
use
you
this
drag
anymore."
it in like
Absolute
drunkenly?
dog.
Trampolines, very dangerous.
Yeah, this was this is
How
from
good
like
were trampolines?
1998, so
Oh,
it was
I
just
used to love a good tramp.
exposed
Yes.
springs.
That was all part of it though,
Oh.
wasn't it?
Exactly.
course.
Pinching the hair.
Yeah.
The electric shock.
I mean,
Yeah.
We would have full on wrestling matches. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
You'd
yeah.
get on and it was like you'd be doing what is it, like coat hanging people?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
That
yeah.
didn't happen for me.
sprinkler
It was
underneath.
just me
The
by
sprinkler was
myself.
amazing.
Yeah, that was the
It was
best.
literally
Make
like
it slippery.
tag team. Do like tag team jump in and
Yeah.
Amy said recently we should get Bodie like the old school one. You know, have him learn.
what's an old school one?
An old school one actually has the springs. They're all springless now. They're
Yeah, and they've got walls and stuff.
Yeah.
oh, they're
Yeah.
completely like you cannot get your hand into the spring area.
Why
Or-
would you want to give them an old school one?
so that they can have the
it's funny.
resilience
Yeah.
of our generation, which was how do you not bloody knacker yourself on the corner?
Yeah.
How do you not pinch your bum
Maybe
in the
don't
spring?
put a seatbelt on him too. Just real resilience.
But
it
it's a-
seems like
I'm
it's
all for
slightly
toughening him
irresponsible.
up.
I think there's
Oh, I
probably
think that people are so soft these days.
There's
Like,
a very good hill on Coonung Creek Trail that I think you should just put him on the bike and
Oh,
push
he's
him
a
down.
Daredevil.
Oh,
He'll give it a crack.
Yeah.
I reckon.
mate, he'd love it.
What about a billy cart? What about the Daily
Oh,
Talk Show
yeah.
billy
Oh,
cart?
Oh my god,
That's
billy
fun.
karting, yeah.
Old school. Did your dad build one? I can imagine him getting out there.
Nah, my mum knew that if we built one, it would be ridiculous and dangerous.
Okay.
And so, but
Like
our,
good, but-
our cousins,
or
yeah,
shit?
yeah, no, just like just ridiculous. But our cousins had them. I just remember going down. You just remember the rope, and you'd be sort of
Yeah.
like maneuvering it.
Hey, old school. Can you see
I
what a
never
billy?
had one, but I just mooched off
You don't
other
buy a
people.
billy-
Yeah, I had a friend who had one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Except
I
I
know.
lived in a flat street, so it wasn't quite as exciting.
Yeah.
I live on top of the steepest hill.
Perfect. Yeah, that would have been great.
You said you don't buy a billy cart, but if you had a kid, you'd have to buy
No,
one.
no, no. I could
Too hard.
build a.
Too hard.
Isn't Balaj building one right now?
Is he?
Oh, really?
I saw on his Instagram he's trying to build.
Oh, that would be great.
Could you look it up?
Blige
There's probably
is
a
our,
billy cart business
web
for
designer.
lazy parents.
Get the Daily Talk Show logo on there to sponsor the billy cart.
I would love that. I think that would be great to have a billy cart.
What
It
do
seems-
they have in the Little Rascals in the last scene?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I've seen Little
I
Rascals.
think they're what?
Well, I
I've
think they're
seen,
like.
That's
I've
go
s-
karts.
I think they're on steroids.
I'm
They're-
thinking of Cool Runnings, that first scene in
Oh,
Cool
yeah,
Runnings. That's
yes.
definitely a billy cart.
That's a
I'm
billy
gonna-
cart.
I'm going to pull this up. I'm just writing billy cart. BILL.
How have you not seen the Little Rascals?
I've seen
Good movie.
Sandlot Kids many times.
Great movie.
the Little Rascals.
I remember the bit of the kid's hair,
Alfalfa.
but don't remember
Probably my
anything.
favorite film. No,
I was-
Psycho's my favorite.
My Girl, I loved.
That that broke my heart.
I'm scared, so scared of bees.
I'm not scared of anything.
Bees?
Nope, just ventriloquist dummies.
It's very specific.
Yeah, it's called automatinophobia. It's a
thing.
phobia of yep. ventriloquist dummies and wax statues. But wax statues don't get me as much. But ventriloquist dummy, tears.
Isn't it
Really?
interesting? What's the wax museum called?
Yeah. Oh,
Two swords.
Wax
Two-
works.
yeah.
5 months to go until the Upway Billy Cart race.
Woohoo!
5 months is a good amount
5
of prep.
months ago, it's on February 23rd, 2020, the big day. They've got sponsors. They've
Who's
got
sponsoring?
Yeah, I don't know. It's total fire
Nando's?
ban at the time. Mate, we could hook them up. 190 entries. So the entry cap is 190 entries.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of billy carts down one hill.
Yeah.
Man, this is good.
Chaos.
Hope it's in Australia.
Well, you
Is
said
there another-
Upway?
Yeah, it looks,
Yeah.
Upway. Right.
Upway sounds.
But they got the .com. This is where you start thinking upwaybillycartrace.com.
That's in Victoria. Main
It is?
Street, Upway,
Yeah.
Victoria, Australia.
Here we go.
That's
What a
sick. So
beautiful producer.
You could
what date is that?
He's amazing.
we could actually enter that. That's a good one.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's
Oh,
do
they're
that.
serious.
Yeah, no, this is happening. Yeah.
I think that'd be fun.
I think it'd be hilarious.
Entries
think-
open December 8th.
Who's the
And
driver?
you can practice
I think-
on
Oh,
Coon
Who
Creek
do you
Trail.
push?
You know who-
Sebs, you've got to be the driver,
Yeah.
surely.
In terms of, like, I don't think I'm equipped to build something like this. Derek.
Oh, yeah.
Scooter Derek.
Scooter
He'll
Derek.
get the welder out.
In his
He'd
element.
weld together. You should see the ones
He
that are
would
in
be
that.
in his element.
Mate.
Do you think that they need a girl to stand at the starting line with
Where
a ribbon?
No, we
we're
need
not
you to drive it. We
we're
need
not
you to
having
drive it.
track girls or whatever the fuck what is that called?
Track
The-
girls, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do
Or the
that.
check,
could be
you could be
the-
the checkered flag.
you could be
at the
the-
end.
Yeah.
I think you could be a driver. How
I
about
think I
be
have one of those
what about a
costumes.
absolutely not. What about a driver? What about a driver?
Would you drive it?
You're not scared of anything.
I can barely drive a car.
I know, but this you just sort of we push and
It'd
you
be
sort
pretty funny.
Oh, it'd
Yeah.
be hilarious.
So would you do
Very
it?
funny. Yeah, I'll do anything.
of. Okay, perfect. Could we? Do you think we could get Mecca to sponsor the car?
Probably.
I feel like there's definitely something there.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, what date do we need to?
Feb 23rd, 2020.
Yeah, but entries open the 8th of December.
And what does the
Okay.
entry look like? Is this where you get to front up some cash?
$10.
Oh, $10.
I think we could all.
Reckon we can manage
Yeah.
that.
Oh, it's just
Give
six
it.
times.
$2
Okay,
each.
right, that's good.
I want Big Pete to give it a good push.
I'll give it a push.
I
Yeah.
can just imagine the legs.
Yeah, good
Easier
stride.
legs, yeah.
You don't want me to. Yeah, you don't want me to drive it because it'd have to be the longest billy
Yeah.
cart ever created.
I mean, it
Yeah.
could be cool.
You'd
could
be
be
like the
cool.
river. You'd be at the start and the end at the same time. Did you like that river reference? The metaphor. You
Yeah,
are the river.
I liked it.
yeah, I sort of did. Yeah,
It makes a lot of sense when you think about it.
yeah.
Good chat.
Yeah, no, it's really solid. So, the post footy, depending on what happens.
What does that look like, Jim?
Yeah. So, what happens if it goes bad?
Mm-hmm.
Tigers don't win. Will it actually put you in a bad mood?
Not for too long. I'm not. I don't sook about these things.
Mhm.
I don't really sook about anything.
Mhm.
Nah. I don't know. It's just a nice feeling to win, but I'll
Right.
get over it pretty quickly.
What will you do if you win? Will you go? I remember Swan Street was fucked. The couple of
Yeah,
years
see,
ago.
that's my like worst nightmare.
Mhm.
I'll just continue to drink at home.
The good news is if you lose, no one's going to care because GWS have about 3,000 supporters.
Exactly.
So it would be like nothing happened.
And also, I will have already done my face paint Instagram post that morning. So
Right. So
I'm the real winner.
Are you doing full face paint?
Of course.
The thing about you could always spin it to go if they don't win, which they probably will win,
Don't.
that it's good for the AFL. It's good for the. They've been
good for
around
footy, yeah.
10 years. The club has been around.
GWS has.
It's crazy,
I'm
right?
sure it was been 6 months.
I
I'm sure
know,
they
it
went
feels like
halfway
it.
through the season they came in.
It's not a
feels
good
like that.
song.
2009 was when they first started. Crazy.
Do you remember the AFL days, footy days at school?
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, I got a
like
photo
colours.
off my sister this morning. Her daughter, my niece, was dressed up. She's 2. She was dressed up in like full Geelong outfit. They had footy
then-
colour day
Oh.
for daycare. Yeah, she was
That's
pumped.
so fun.
At daycare.
Yeah, at
Oh,
daycare. yeah,
They
she
did
was
it at
loving
Bodie's. We probably
My brother was such an attention seeker that he went for Port Adelaide.
more
So that-
than you.
Yeah. Jade.
Port Adelaide colours
What
are
an-
very beautiful.
Purple. Yeah, I love purple.
Mm.
But the thing is that he
The
picked
teal blue.
Yeah, I love the
Yeah,
teal.
it's so nice. Teal. Is it teal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a greeny blue?
Yep.
Teal. No, Jake went for Port Adelaide because, they would get everyone around a circle, and then your song would come on and you'd run around?
Oh, we didn't do that.
Oh,
Really?
I don't know.
I just walked around to everyone going, my grandpa won the premiership. What did your grandpa
Oh,
do?
That is so- that
he
is so
played for
cool.
Richmond.
Yeah.
You
I
know
didn't know.
this.
I
just-
knew this.
For-
because we-
1943 when
because-
Jack Dyer was captain.
And so it was VFL back then.
Technically.
Yeah,
You
before
could
they
have like
started the
another
AFL.
job while you were playing
Yeah, they're
footy.
all
Well, it's not the-
professionals outside of the football.
Not the money like it is now.
No,
And
God,
so,
no.
and what did he do outside of being a superstar?
A trade of some sort. I have no idea.
Yeah, my dad employed he employed a Melbourne Football Club player back in the day, like before they could make enough cash.
Wow.
So he was a labourer for my dad, landscaping, and then he'd play professional footy on the.
It's like podcasting.
Yeah.
Isn't it? One day we'll be at the MCG and everyone will be.
In 10 years' time, you'll be like,
Yeah.
remember when we used to have 2 jobs as well as podcasting? Yeah.
that'd
And
be
so,
good life.
what was the story that your family would always tell about your grandpa? What were the premiership stories?
They didn't really have any because mum's the youngest or the second youngest of 7. So
Wow.
he'd stopped playing when she was like a child.
Mhm.
But then everyone in my family plays sport. Most of the men have played VFL. All of the girls played like state netball at a minimum. And
Did you play? What did you?
No, I played netball in primary school, but I was just in it for like the mini skirts. That's not a word of a lie. And
Tan
my
up the
mum
legs.
was a really, really good netballer, and she would be at the side of the court like, the ball is coming towards you. And I'm like, what do you mean?
Did you any other famous family?
No.
I mean, was he famous? Was your grandfather famous
I mean,
back in the day?
probably, maybe,
Yeah.
probably not.
You got any famous people in your family?
My grandfather popularized hyperbaric chambers for use in sport. He was a sports doctor. So he was a sports doctor in the AFL, at the
Jesus.
F1,
Okay.
at the cricket, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dad, if you're watching. And my uncle, so his son, he played footy for St Kilda and cricket for the MCC. So he's got his name and photo on the wall at the MCC. when you go
That's
in there.
so nice.
Yeah.
Well,
pretty
it gets you thinking like a claim to fame. What do you
Yeah.
want your claim to fame be?
Yeah.
Because whether you have kids or not, like I
Yeah,
think-
what's Bodie going to say? Looking up, like, my dad used to do this.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
I don't know. He already knows what we do. Show him this.
This is pretty good.
the Daily
Yeah,
Talk Show.
as soon as you've got like
Podcast.
a name or something on a wall,
Mm.
that's the
A
dream.
logo.
Yeah.
Poppy's name's still on the locker at Pump Road, so I'm like,
Oh yeah, that's good.
sick.
Yeah,
what do
that's
you want to be
nice.
famous? What do you want to be known for, Gemma?
I don't know. I actually have no idea. I'm a star.
Or you're going to be a star of
I had
something?
I had a lot of star power. No, I don't know. I don't think I have to be known for anything specific.
I think it's probably a good way to get clear on. Like, it doesn't have to be, I want to be a famous movie star, but it's
No.
like, what do people know you for? What do you think about that, Pete?
But do you think people care more if you can, like, I'm not planning on having kids, so I feel like maybe there's less of a feeling of like, because you're not going to have that moment of telling, like, your son telling the kids at school.
Yeah,
Just
I
quotes
that's the
from my Vogue
byproduct of
profile.
doing the thing. So you can still be like, oh, what do I want to be known for? What do I want to be famous for? Like,
Yeah, it's like legacy.
Uncle.
Yeah,
Remember
legacy.
think, Uncle.
Yeah.
Uncle Josh.
The cool uncle.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's what you want to strive for? Just the cool uncle?
The cool uncle. Well, that's why I give Bodie biscuits every time
Yeah.
he comes in.
I just drop the Vogue profile into every conversation.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, well, Vogue Australia said Gemma Watts knows beauty, and you'd be wise to take her word on it.
What would I know?
What about, like, is there one thing, though? Like, you could put it down to, like, if there's an achievement, it's like build something, have the biggest something.
Nah, I don't know. I don't think that far ahead. I liked what Zoe was saying. Like, as long as you're doing good work in the moment, then the rest is fine.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We're just
it's
monsters
basically-
wanting the biggest
yeah.
biggest podcast, biggest show in the world, the best.
The biscuit king.
But then I don't know, like, I don't know about just the word best
Mhm.
because, like, you
The
can,
best biscuit king. Yeah, no, I get it.
yeah, I don't know. It just feels really lofty.
It's so subjective too.
Yeah,
But that's what almost makes it. What I love about best is because it's so subjective, and so then it's almost like the best version. So we can be the best podcast and show in the world based on the very specific thing that we're delivering,
yeah.
which is in Abbotsford on Ferguson Street with Tommy and Josh, who has a producer of Mr. 97. For that, we are the best in the world.
But
Unless
then,
there's someone down the road.
Why does that title mean something to you?
It's more of a posture to go into situations with that in mind.
Okay.
So then what it's really saying, it's an external version of saying do the best that you can possibly do.
Yeah, okay.
It means it's like essentially the same thing.
Tricking yourself into it.
Yeah, I think that like self-talk, like it's the whole imposter syndrome thing, Pete. I reckon we limit our beliefs. And so then if we make them a bit more external and say we want to be the world's best, then we will at the very least reach our limit, whatever that is.
Yeah, I think there's a happy medium where I feel like self-help can be summarized as most people are capable of more than they realize. And so there's that tension of accepting that, acknowledging that and living that, but not getting so attached to success being the thing that's going to make you happy and being the best is the thing that's going to make you happy. So it's like this dance. I know you love dance metaphors. It's this dance between the two.
Can we get the two-step at the end of the show?
We can do it as a boomerang.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's tension between both. Acknowledging that not creating limiting beliefs for yourself. So stepping into this idea that I could probably do more than I'm capable than I realize, but also not being so attached to, once I've got success, whatever that means, then I'll be happy. Then I'll be excited. Then I'll do the next thing.
Well, that's not living in the present, is it? That's all.
Yeah.
But then there's also like sorry.
Jeez.
Tommy wants to make a toast.
What's interesting though is if you don't have a clear thing that you're sort of going for, you end up doing something great or you put in all this work and something gets picked up as the thing that you're known for. Michael Bungay Stainer, we went to a
great name.
Amazing day.
Yeah,
Such a
that's
good name.
It's
lovely.
actually
Isn't it a
the
good name?
last name I always fuck up. I say Stainer.
Steiner.
It's Stania.
Stania.
It's spelled Stanier.
I'm more
Stania.
interested in the Bungay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Michael Bungay Stania.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's a fucking great name.
that's the name. And he was working within a company that invented stuffed crust pizza. So like the crust stuffed.
Ah.
And
Cheese usually, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, is it cheese?
Cheese.
Yeah.
Cheese stuffed
cheese.
crust?
Which I think he was trying to imply that was like he wasn't doing important work. But I started to clap.
Standing ovation.
I was the only one in out of how many people were there? 80 people.
Yeah.
That was clapping. But anyway.
But I mean, I thought it was a cool fact, and I'd like to be known for that.
It's a
To be
fun
honest,
fact, yeah.
I mean, he's done a lot of great other things. Sold 700,000 books. Like crazy achievements. But it's interesting to see, like, if you go on this journey to wherever you're going, there will be things along the way that end up being chosen by other people to say, "Hey, look at that! You're the guy that did that O-bike thing. You're the guy, whatever it is, right? Whether you like it or not."
Yeah.
And so then it's, what are you doing? Because if you get known for the MC gal,
Which is pretty much it. It's the beauty. It's it sounds really up myself, but in Melbourne, I'm definitely like at the top of my industry.
Yeah.
which is a good thing.
Yeah.
So you've made that the thing that you want to be known
So you
for.
are the world's best person in Melbourne, like the Ferguson Street thing.
But I just don't think I need to be the best as long as I'm doing good work, which I fucking am.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
And you're confident about it,
Yeah.
that's for sure. You know,
A little bit too much.
if we all took that confidence.
We were talking the other day about perfect days. Pete's been able to do his perfect day here.
That was fun. I've been
Yes,
dying
because
to know.
I did flag with everyone. Not one person has mentioned sex in their perfect day.
That is true. I mean, I'm focusing too much on my testicles.
I mentioned to you that it was just assumed. I didn't have to spell that out.
Okay. Well, in that case, I won't include it in mine. If it's just
But we know
assumed.
there's
Yeah,
heavy undertones of sex throughout her day.
definitely.
But if you don't mention Chris,
Oh, yeah.
you've got to mention him.
Yeah.
You don't-
You
you don't-
reminded me. Yeah, because everyone's sort of fucked up there.
So what's your day? Go into a lot of detail.
Okay. Oh, yeah, it's like a red brick wall. It's so specific.
Yeah. And the next day I had the best day. Blue sky, brick
Yeah.
wall.
I would wake up early but not be tired.
Mm.
That would be a nice thing.
Yeah.
I like
What's
that.
the deal about waking up? Is everyone tired at the moment?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I feel great.
Yeah, I'm good.
What about
tired.
like day to day?
I
No,
don't know,
I-
I
I
drink
mean,
a lot of coffee.
Pete's about to go away to New York.
I'm pretty religious with my sleep. It's like one thing I won't sacrifice: getting enough sleep.
Yeah, same. I
Okay.
love sleep. I would wake up. I'm going to say like maybe 6,
Mhm.
and then I would like to be near the beach, like go for a swim, because that would be nice.
Would the creek do it for you or no?
No, not even
What is
close.
it? Kunung?
Kunung Creek has the highest concentration of E. coli in any
Yeah.
Victorian
Speaking of being the
waterway.
best,
And so, E.
It is 9 times the safe swimming limit.
What's E. coli gonna do to you?
Kill you.
It's not going to do anything good.
Yeah.
A
Is it-
boy from my school, because we'd all walk home along the creek, he was like, I'm going to swim in it. He had to take a week off school.
Oh my
got real
God.
It
sick.
wasn't a good time.
Wow.
Ear infection.
It's fucking funny.
What a story, though. What a
He's
story.
in the creek and I'm like, this is truly the worst idea anyone's
Yeah.
had.
What were you thinking, buddy?
Yeah,
so
it
funny.
wasn't impressive.
So yeah, no
So you go
Kunung
to the
Creek.
beach.
So,
So
yeah, I'd have
whereabouts?
a swim.
Where? What suburb in Australia or the world?
I don't know.
Hmm.
Well, you can know, so just make it up, because then it's what you want.
Yeah, we need to be specific.
Okay, it would nice to be somewhere in Victoria, because later in my day, I'm obviously want to see my friends and family. So
Interesting.
Down the Mornington Peninsula, you got a beautiful little pad.
yeah, I could do that.
Maybe Torquay.
It's the other side's a bit
I know.
further, bit further, like a bit further to get to.
Yeah, I don't really mind. The location doesn't matter. I would go for a swim and then I'd come back and I'd have a really nice breakfast.
What would
I'd have
yeah.
probably some poachies,
Hmm.
Mhm.
maybe like some avo and
Can I guess the drink?
yeah.
A glass of orange juice.
I hate orange
A long
juice.
black,
Long black.
Long black.
Yeah.
obviously.
A long
course.
black. You're perfect. Are we being serious when we
Yeah,
say the long
actually,
black?
Pete and I have had a conversation
Yeah,
about
we
this
have.
behind your back.
Yeah.
Why you really pushed back on like if someone's making the perfect coffee for you, why would you have a long black?
Well, I'm more of an like I had an iced latte
Yeah.
this morning.
It's
I
probably,
don't understand the pushback on the long
No,
black.
there's
You
a
were-
good
you were
choice.
I
shocked
actually
when I
had
said
a,
long
I
black.
actually had a really good long black the other day, and I
Long
was
black's-
like,
yeah.
Delicious.
I actually think I like a long black more than drip.
If you, yeah, because it's real. It's like a real. You
Like
get
it
the
had a
coffee
little
shot. It's
froth.
got
I was
an
almost
espresso.
like, oh, is there something else in here?
Yeah, but if you drink long blacks for 30 days across October. So once we move
Is
into
this a
October,
challenge?
you'd just be cool with it.
Yeah.
It would be like, yeah, that's a good coffee.
Also,
Right,
be just
yeah.
buzzing all the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Mm,
Okay, so
that's
long
all I
black
drink. And then
would have been a little mug. When do they put long blacks in a little mug? Always.
Little mug. What do you mean?
I had a long black the other day.
It's just
And it
a
was in a
cafe,
mug.
however,
Yeah.
whatever size. If you go to a Bogan one, you'll get a bloody bowl.
Yeah,
And if you go to a hipster one, you'll get this little thing that's like hard to pick up.
yeah.
It's like a vase.
It's like, yeah. What's
fucking-
whose fingers getting through that little handle?
Mate, not that thumb, that's for
Yeah.
sure. Just hook it in.
I can't get this on the big Berwick ones, but mugs either. So go
Anyway,
on.
so you get your long black,
going,
your
Gemma.
eggs, beautiful. Get there.
then you know what? This is going to sound so silly. I would have my hair and makeup done. I find that so relaxing.
Mhm.
I would have that done.
At a shopping centre or what sort
No,
of?
they would be coming to me.
Yes.
No, you know what? I'm going to scrap that. I'm going to have that later in the day because I'm going to do some work first.
You
But,
don't like
good
working with makeup?
No, it's unnecessary if I'm just sitting at my computer.
What sort of
does
work?
Does it feel sorry
Writing
before?
work.
Right.
But
And
you
then maybe I would take one of my cameras out, like the old film ones.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, that would be fun. I enjoy doing that when it's not like for a client.
I'm just curious on the makeup thing. What's the feeling?
It's just very like it's just
No,
a
but
nice
as in,
thing.
no, so when you're on your
What do you
computer,
mean?
you're like, oh, it's unnecessary to have makeup on.
Well, I'm not seeing anyone at this point.
But is it, so you would, if people couldn't see you, you wouldn't do the makeup. I guess that makes sense.
Hmm.
It doesn't feel nice on your face.
No, it feels fine. I just don't
Okay.
care.
Mhm.
So I might do some work in the morning and then I'd probably have lunch with Chris. I liked how you were like, maybe Chelsea's having her perfect day. And then I liked that idea.
That was a good integration, wasn't
yeah.
it?
So maybe Chris is having his perfect day and then we have lunch together. Then
Nice to assume that you're a part of his perfect day.
look at me. Then I would like
But
to.
is Taco Bell open during the day?
I would do.
Perfect day. You can do what you want. You're a
would-
franchisee. Hey, boss.
I would go and do like a dance class or something.
Yeah.
In the afternoon, that would be fun.
Like bar.
No, probably jazz.
Mhm.
Then or like
Probably harder to
commercial.
find near the coast.
It's my perfect day.
There's dance schools everywhere
Yeah.
nowadays.
Then I would
Everywhere.
come back. Then I would have my hair and makeup done, and then
At like 3:30.
and then all of my friends would come over like early-ish afternoon, and then we'd have a big party, and there'd be dancing, and there'd be food, and there'd be drinks, and there'd be more dancing, and then it would wrap up early because we started early in the afternoon.
What's on
Start
tap?
early, finish early.
Perfect.
Everything, everything except ouzo, sambuca. That's pretty much
You had
it.
bad experiences with them?
No, they're just I don't like aniseed.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, it's
And
a good day.
But
A
there
solid
are-
day.
Yeah, I
So,
just like
yeah.
to be around people.
And so then evening
The party goes into the evening. It's a
until
big
like
party.
8 p.m.
Longer.
You said early finish.
Yeah.
What time? 9:30.
No, I'm
Anything
thinking
before 12 is early.
Yeah,
For
exactly.
for nights out.
Yeah.
If you're starting though at like 2 p.m.
Yeah, that's fine. I love a day drink.
Uh-huh.
You start.
So the problem
Slow.
with this perfect day is what's different
Mm.
is that normally our perfect days are this sort of sustainable thing that we can do every single day.
I don't think that they are. Most of them have started with like I would do 1 hour of work and then I would swim.
But that's good. But I just don't know about getting you're having your perfect day.
It's my perfect day.
Yeah.
I can have a party.
No. But I just think getting how many days in a row would you have the party with your friends before it would get old?
I don't know.
3.
Okay.
So I get
But that's how I recharge,
sure,
being
yeah.
around people.
Okay.
When I'm just in my own space, that's when I
Yeah.
feel like I'm down.
So it could be because there is a bit of a culture of that in like Hollywood or successful singers. They just have an entourage and they'll pay them all.
Mm.
Would you? I feel like I could be like that when I'm older if I had a bunch of coin, just sort of to not have to worry about the whole friendship thing. Just like, hey, do you want to? What do you like doing? And they say, I love driving. I'm so okay. Well, you're the driver.
Oh, you'd have to. So the money's the equation here.
Oh,
Like you
yeah,
need
yeah.
pay
shitloads
You've got a
of
lot of cash.
Basically paying your friends to do things
Yeah.
for you. Or with
But
you.
they're all
Mm.
happy because they're
Yeah.
doing what they love as well.
That's
So it's like, oh yeah, I used to work at a really good restaurant and now I look after Josh's meals.
yeah. Personal chef is so high on the priority
Mm.
list for me. A personal chef.
Really?
I've got
I
Cadbury.
love
I've got that sorted.
cooking.
Yeah.
The personal chef. I would love that.
You love cooking.
Yeah, see, for the party, I would be cooking everything.
What?
That's what I do.
Oh no.
Oh, I love the
Would you have a
attention that
grazing
comes-
table?
Yes, of course. You must.
Charcuterie board of some sort.
Of course.
What's a
you
charcuterie
must.
board?
Charcuterie
It's like
is
cured meats and
Okay,
cheese
sure.
and stuff.
cheeses and dips.
He's had
You
a few.
must.
Oh,
start
I didn't know- I
didn't know the
butter.
Yeah. So also cod dip. Is it cod dip?
Cod dip.
Cob dip?
Oh,
yeah,
cob
yeah.
loaf.
Cob
Yeah,
loaf.
that's
Filled
nice.
with that cheesy, oniony
yeah, yeah.
yumminess.
Yeah.
We should do one of those for Fat Friday.
I've
Amy's good at
absolutely
them.
ruined some of them. Like getting to the point, because you're tearing it off.
Yeah.
To the point where it's just
Do you
unusable.
feel awful once you have that? though?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
We're drinking 17 beers as well.
True.
Are you Josh mentioned you're going to quit drinking. You were thinking about it?
Yeah. I've been noodling on it, thinking about it. Maybe. Yeah.
Drinking while you're thinking?
Yeah.
Or-
I think I might have had a couple of wines when I was thinking about it. I was just like,
Made you feel good about the thinking
what's it
about
for? Like, why do I do it? Do I need to do it? And what would I gain by not doing it? I've been thinking about that for a while. Yeah. My brother's got a rule this year. He has been talking probably for like 10 years, I reckon, about not drinking because he went pretty hard growing up. And so he's got this rule with his partner now where they only are allowed to drink outside of Australia. So when they're on holiday,
Yeah.
they'll have a
Love
wine.
Yeah.
And
He's
they've
a
done couple of
vagabond. He's
holidays.
travelled every
So
single day.
this year he's been a lot of places. Yeah, no. But so
he
in
bought
Australia,
a boat and he's off the mainland
Yeah.
to drink.
But so they don't drink in Australia. But when they go on holiday, they're like, yeah, let's have a wine and that sort of thing. And I think that's a pretty cool rule. I like that.
I love that.
How are you going with it?
Yeah, really good. It's but I'm trying to work out. I need a rule because I like that one. I was thinking 80-20 rule, and I was like, what's 80-20 on 365? Way too many days that I could drink.
Yeah.
What's the 80-20 rule on 52 weeks, which works out to be about 10?
It's the exact same equation.
No, it's not. No, it's not. So I'm just saying, if I was only to ever drink on weekends, so I did every day, and then I did 80-20 of it every day. And so
Oh,
what's
so once
20%
a-
of 365?
week.
It's fucking 60-something days I
As
could
opposed
drink
to
a year.
the weekend.
Which was like, that's too many because I
I
don't
think
want to
we
drink.
went the same
Yeah, we
spot.
did.
And then
Yeah.
you go 52 weeks. And if I just go weekends, what's 80-20 rule of weekends?
Yeah, sure.
It becomes
Yeah.
10
That
or
makes
just
sense.
a bit over 10.
Just
so I
a
rounded it
Friday. Yeah, okay.
down to 10. And then I was like, yeah, I mean, that could work. Out of 10, I can drink only on weekends, and it can be 10 occasions across the year.
Yeah,
or I can
10's
drink
Okay.
10 times, doesn't matter when,
Yeah.
only 10 times in a year.
We could do like only on Fridays or something like that.
So, yeah, and then there's
There's
52.
potentially, yeah, which is still a few.
But then I like that, the overseas rule.
Yeah, that's been his rule. So
The thing I don't like about the overseas rule is that you and I will do a lot of overseas stuff with the Daily Talk Show.
But it doesn't mean I'm getting fucked
it doesn't
up.
mean you have to.
I was
It's just
drinking.
you have
Remember,
the
it was like
option.
I was drinking in Central Park. Some guy came up with a cerveza. I was like, what do you want one? I bought a little Corona, which was really nice.
Yeah.
So you get
But
a bit
remember
of
we
buzz.
had the blow up because you were really exhausted and all that sort of thing. And
It was
then we
because-
went to Chinese tuxedo and you're like, man, I'm so fucked. And then Eddie Buckingham, lovely guy, was like, come on down for a drink. And then Tommy's all of a sudden, he was having a drink. And I was just like, mate, you were such a fucking sook and couldn't even
Yeah.
do, you were saying you couldn't do it.
Well,
and
that's
now
the
you're
thing
having the
about
drink.
drinking. Is
Can
like,
get you up and about.
if you feel shit and you drink, you feel good. This is why people who feel shit about everything drink to feel good.
Yeah.
So it's like you can drink. It's a anti-anxiety medication.
It just
See, I
melts.
refuse to drink if I'm in a bad mood for that reason.
Well, because it'll make you feel good, and that's not what you
Well,
want.
yeah, I just, yeah.
It numbs the.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems a bit dangerous. To
Oh,
me.
no, of course
I
it
just
is.
drink if I'm
That's-
in, yeah.
That's the thing. It can get you through. This is what it's a.
Fortunately, I'm in a good mood most of the time.
So your point was you would only do it if you're tired and traveling.
No, my point is that you tried to say that because I was shit and then I chose to drink. It's like
Yeah.
it's actually an antidote to the bullshit you're feeling sometimes, but it's not good. So, but it catches up with you. The thing is, getting pissed is the problem.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Waking up feeling shit
It's
is the
awful.
problem,
Yeah.
and then no sleep, and then so it's like
And the trickle down effect of like then you eat like shit, which means you feel like crap and you don't
Everything.
work out. And then
Super
you don't,
dangerous.
it's
And so
just-
what's the deal with wines? Because Bree and I will share a bottle of red wine.
Mm-hmm.
it's
I'm not saying
8.8 standard drinks. 8 standard drinks.
I'm not
It's a
saying
fair
that I'm
few.
going to like upgrade that, but do people have 2 bottles in an evening? Is that what people do normally?
I could drink a bottle myself
Yeah.
pretty
Same.
easily,
Mm.
but then
Yeah.
the
But
thing is,
everyone's different. It's like
Yeah.
what your body can
Well, Bree
take.
likes white wine.
it's
I'm not
gross.
necessarily a
It's
fan.
gross unless it's
Nah.
hot.
Yeah.
not
Unless
into
it's
it.
hot.
Yeah, not into it.
But
As
it's
in
got to
hot
be
weather.
like something dry. I don't like a sweet
Oh
one.
yeah,
Mm.
sweet's rancid. But if you're drinking a bottle by yourself, it's still 8. Like you can get a bottle into 2 glasses. In
How
some,
many
with some
calories?
glasses.
Absolutely,
How
yeah.
many
The
calories are we
Watts family.
talking?
Be shitloads. If let's have a guess, and then we'll get Mr. 97 to pull it
Oh,
up.
I don't look at calories.
In
I have
a
no
in a
idea.
bottle, so in a beer bottle, there's around 280 to 380 calories in a beer bottle.
I reckon
There's-
640 calories in a red wine.
600. Maybe more because of the grape.
Calories
Which-
are probably the thing I care about least in life.
Really?
I think
No, I'm
counting
obsessed.
calories is like the most dangerous thing you can do.
A bottle of red wine calories. What's
You
the
haven't
answer?
seen me
Which
in a buffet.
drop?
That's it.
Pinot is lower. I know that. It's
Okay.
lower in calories. So if you want to stick
really?
to Pinot, yeah.
Pinot.
What are we talking?
622.
Oh,
Wait, that was you say
wow.
6. Did I say 630 or
You're
640?
pretty
I don't
close.
know.
Man,
Pretty
that's
close.
good.
Yeah.
What drop is that, Sebs? Does it say?
No, I just literally typed in calories.
red
and
wine.
Red
I
wine.
think, I think it's red.
Yeah, but
It's solid. It's interesting. So that's
Oh, I'm
I'm not
obsessed
gonna-
with I'm obsessed with calories.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
literally
you shouldn't
nothing
be.
between
You
red
need
and
to
white.
get out of that.
It can be quite effective though. Don't you think?
is it effective?
Yeah, when I don't think about it,
Mm.
I always eat in excess. When I'm thinking about calories, I actually end up like maintaining.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fuel
but
when I
it's
feel
like a
like,
good way
oh,
to
just eat when
disordered eating.
just eat when you want.
Who the fuck says that though? That's silly.
There's literally
Me.
there's a
Eat
diet.
when I'm hungry.
Yeah, which is
It says
Eat when
dumb.
you're
There's so many
hungry
dumb
is-
people talking about diets.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
so true. That
Should
is
be
so
illegal.
true.
Yeah, but I just don't think dieting is a good idea. Just make the right choices.
no, but that's like telling a heroin addict just make the right choices.
Mm.
I'm a junkie.
I don't know. I just think it's.
Yeah, it's a complex. I have more empathy for people with food addiction since hanging around Josh.
Sure.
Because you can see
what is
him, like you
balance?
can see him physically
You see me
change.
I
with the,
became
see me with the
obsessed
cheesecake,
with
like
food.
running out of the office
Oh,
yesterday.
it triggers me a bit.
Tommy
Did you eat
had
the left?
No,
bit?
I didn't. But
wanted
97
to.
left. 97 left at there for an entire day. I put it in the bin.
Oh, I was
Cheesecake,
going to have a
yeah.
little nibble this morning.
Look,
but
I,
it's
took, I
gone.
took the Maccas out, Josh. So.
Okay, there we go.
Do you like cheesecake?
Yeah, love it. I love all cake. Most
Cake
cakes.
is good.
Mm.
Yeah, I
Love it.
had a chat to Craig Harper recently, and
Oh,
we had
loves
this conversation around what's the food you would eat all the time if you knew you were going to have no repercussions, and he was like cheesecake straight
Yeah,
away.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
cheesecake.
Do you know the thing about people bringing cheesecakes to his talks?
Yeah, he was
So he-
mentioning that. Yeah,
They know it's his kryptonite, and he doesn't open the door to cheesecake heaven,
Mm-hmm.
and so he keeps it closed because otherwise he'll blow out. So, but people would bring him, because you love cheesecake.
I
Here
got
it
you
is."
a cheesecake.
Do you have a personal story around food or something that makes you get so upset about calories?
Yeah, absolutely. I
Mhm.
ate terrible. Like high school, I was obsessive.
Mm.
I didn't have an eating disorder, but I was certainly like disordered eating was
Mhm.
where I was
That's what
at.
Craig Harper says.
And so
Yeah.
what?
Great line. Most people
Interesting.
don't have eating disorders, but they have disordered eating.
Yeah.
Disordered
Which is a
eating.
And so what does that mean?
Interesting.
Well, I just had a bit of body dysmorphia. I
Mm.
thought I was so fat. Now I look at photos from that time and I was not.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's different for.
And so there's
girls, but-
orthorexia, which is the over healthy eating type of thing.
Mm.
But I feel like I'm so far away from,
No, I
From-
wasn't doing that. I
from
was just
that.
not eating.
Are you
Yeah.
saying
Ballet
the,
will do that too. As
and that's
well.
what this
Yeah.
whole fasting culture does.
Yeah.
I was pretty pumped. I didn't have dinner last night. Had some strawberries,
so this?
but I knew that I was like at a calorie deficit.
Oh yeah.
Why were you pumped?
Well, because I was like, I feel because food is such a, when I got home, Brie had a course on. I was like, oh, I'm going to fucking have Uber Eats. I'm going to fucking do it. And I thought about it. I was like, you're about to go to bed in 2 hours.
Yeah.
You probably don't even need to eat something. And so I had some strawberries. It was all good.
But the fact that you're pumped about it.
Yeah,
says-
I'm a bit fucked.
Yeah.
But what is
You
the...
should maybe talk to
No,
someone
no.
about
You know
it.
his rule about psychologists.
Yeah, I know.
Absolutely not.
I didn't realize it was
shit.
that
Jesus
bad.
Christ. Yeah, no, food.
Yeah.
Yeah, not ideal. It's my one. Yeah, like so much of my mood is based on what I've eaten.
Yeah, okay.
You should have just said food. It would have rhymed. So much of my mood is based
Based
on
on
my
my
food.
That would have been good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true though.
Ba-dum-tsh.
I've done every day. I did I've done fasting. I've done
So
the
have I.
juice stuff, but I didn't like the juices, so I was drinking only orange juice,
Oh my god.
and I ended up after 7 days just with cracked orange. I almost looked like the Joker because I thought
Jesus.
it was not ideal.
I just don't let any of my girlfriends talk about weight around
Mm.
me. I just think it's
And what do they say?
menial. They still will complain, but I just
Mhm.
no.
It's just like extreme anything is not healthy.
Yeah.
Like extreme, and in every context of life, like
Mhm.
extreme eating one way is not healthy. Extreme eating the other way is not healthy. Extreme
Yeah.
left in politics is not healthy. Extreme right in politics is not healthy. Extreme
Yeah.
non-exercise is not healthy. Extreme over-exercising, like
Mhm.
everything, nothing good comes from extreme.
But isn't the biggest myth that like balance is easy, or like?
I don't think people are promoting balance as being easy, but they're
No, I
saying
don't think so.
balance
No, but I
is
think
the-
most people. I think people
balance
say
is
it's
great.
just balance. It
Oh,
just
yeah,
requires
Oh, yeah,
balance,
no,
and the
balance
thing
is
is, it's
hard.
like
Yeah.
balance is like that is the whole thing. It's just
Yeah.
like for some people they're like, oh, like just you have. I think for me it's about like segmenting it and saying I can only do balance if it's like I'm only eating bad food on these days, but then the rest of these days I'm only eating good food in quotation marks,
Yeah.
being,
But the
I'm
80
getting into salads.
Yeah, but the 80-20 rule
Herbs.
thing is like, that's not balanced on a percentage scale. It's not 50-50.
Yeah.
It's a rule. And so the thing is, rules are great. Craig doesn't do it.
Yeah.
So if you implement a rule that
See, I
takes
hate
away,
rules.
or if you have a rule,
I hate them.
well, a rule, okay, then another way of looking at it, a habit could
Yeah,
be a rule.
okay.
A rule, my
Because the
habit.
thing is, like we always talk about this, like not having a strategy is a strategy, whether you like it or not. So it's
Yeah.
like
Mm.
if you go to grilled and you don't get the chippies,
Mm.
that might be a win.
Why are you at grilled?
Because they do
No, I mean,
delicious.
that's what I mean. Like, if you go on a grill, you have to get the chippies.
Yeah.
That's what grilled's all
What's
about.
the
Yeah,
point
the
of
chippies.
grilled?
What,
Yeah,
like-
look, if you're trying to get lean, don't go
Don't go to-
grilled with
yeah.
this guy.
I love
You'll get-
chippies.
You have to get chippies.
Which ones? The standard or the sweet potato?
Oh, good. That's tough.
But
Depending on,
you can
depending
get
on my mood.
a
You can the mix.
I
We
like
got the
both.
mix of 3.
Mm.
Not enough of
Zucchini
anything.
ones aren't.
Yeah.
They don't do it.
I'm
for
pretty
me.
sure the
Hold
zucchini
oil.
ones have
but
more
I douse
calories.
them in the sauce.
Mm.
The sweet pot has more calories.
Is that from the Savvy Dietitian? She did
Yeah.
She did.
You would hate the Savvy Dietitian Instagram. I absolutely love it, but she puts side by side of different foods just to give you
Oh,
a
yeah,
sense of
yeah.
the
I mean,
the
to each
calories.
their own. I just know
Yeah.
what triggers
yeah.
me.
Well, yeah, I used to be. I did Weight Watchers as a kid as well.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
What else?
But I mean, these things become a problem when your body's more predisposed to putting on
Mhm.
weight than this guy,
Yeah.
Mm.
tall Gronk.
Yeah.
Can't put on weight. It's
It's
impossible.
mate.
Yeah.
Annoying.
You could eat triple Josh's
Yeah.
Mhm.
bad
True.
diet of when he was a kid.
You'd feel
Yeah,
like
it's true.
shit.
I'll
That's
go,
like
yeah,
like,
you'd
It's
feel like
so
shit, but
annoying.
you wouldn't put on weight.
in
And so,
America, like in America, I will eat way worse than I do when I'm in Melbourne. I won't exercise and I won't get as much sleep and I'll lose weight.
This is
it's
exactly
bizarre.
the same as Chris.
It's
They're
bizarre.
built exactly
It's
the
so
same.
yeah,
annoying.
it's
Yeah.
really fucking annoying. And so you got to understand what it mentally does
Mhm.
Yeah.
to a
Yeah, so
person
Of course.
when that's
can't,
their
yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
And so it's like, yeah, skinny people don't get the
No, not
thing
at all.
that
Yeah.
larger people do, and
Yeah.
vice versa.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, people trying to say, oh, just go to the gym and put on some muscle. I'm like, I don't think you understand. It's
Yeah.
not quite that easy for me.
Which then is also the issue with diets, because unless somebody has tailored the diet specifically, and that's the thing with
Yeah, exactly.
even the fasting thing, it's not sat down with somebody. It's just like,
Yeah.
don't eat these hours and then start eating. It's like, it's one part of a huge equation.
Yeah. And most of the smart people that you hear in this space say it is unique to each individual. There is no one diet that fits everyone. It's just a ridiculous notion that
Yeah.
everyone has something unique about the way that they consume and digest food and how that makes them feel and react. And so there's just no one universal diet. So like I've been to a nutritionist. I've got a personal plan on what looks and feels and makes me function in a high performing way. And, you know, Chelsea's the same. And I think that's a better approach than but everyone should be you're doing paleo. Everyone should be fasting.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
But then that's what's weird about like culture and geography, because like, if you live in this area, you have these foods of like, we
Yeah.
all sort of, how are we making the decision? Like it feels like there's the unconscious, which is just what's available to
There
me.
is.
What's
living
the,
in Shepparton, fucking 4 McDonald's
Yeah, wow.
within the area of Shepparton. It's like,
KFC.
there's a couple of KFCs.
Did you
at
work
Hungry
out the
Jack's.
best Maccas out of the 4? Or are they all very
Uh,
consistent?
Nah, yeah, the one we went to was best.
Yeah, great.
The general rule I've heard that I like is if you shop on the outside of the supermarket, you'll do quite well. So like fruit and veg,
Oh, yeah.
a bit of dairy, some meat, and then I think like frozen berries and stuff on the other
Yeah,
side.
that makes
So it's like
sense.
keep on the outside of the supermarket and don't go inside
Yeah.
those aisles.
But the annoying thing is the Tim Tams are inside. It's like,
which is the point. Yeah.
anyway, it's a daily talk show. Gem, you've sold out your.
Yeah,
think-
45 seconds.
That
That's
was
amazing.
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
Congrats.
crazy.
So you launched your live event and it sold out.
yeah.
In 45 seconds.
Far
Yeah,
out.
it's
That's
a bit-
outrageous.
Yeah. I still can't really believe it. I had in my head that because they went on sale at 10 o'clock in the morning and then I had to leave my house at 10 past 10 and then I was going to be back at midday and I was like, oh, maybe I'll see like the first couple get sold and then I'll come back at midday and a few more might have
there's
sold.
10, yeah.
Yeah, 1 minute past 10. I'm getting messages from people that they've fucking gone.
I mean, what I found more impressive was Bree's ability to snag
She
2
was
tickets
on
in that
it.
Well
first
done.
45
Yeah.
seconds. What a freak.
Well done.
So lucky, isn't it? That's why I talk
Yeah.
about Bree's very good with that sort of shit.
Onto that shit.
Like admin.
Unbelievable.
We'll get it done.
Just puts plants in the fridge though. That's
yeah,
something we've got to work on.
yeah, the cooking
I'll
in
talk to her
general.
about
The
that.
cooking in
You
general.
got strengths.
Yeah.
You got your weaknesses.
Yeah, exactly. We've all
Does
got
she
them.
not? Does she not? do
She's
the
not
cooking?
great at. Nah, it's not a strength.
Careful.
I love
It's
it.
definitely-
But she can get tickets to your live show. So
Yeah,
it's
she's
great. So,
Yeah.
amazing.
And
That's
she
amazing.
will do the Uber Eats orders on my behalf,
Oh, that's
which is
good.
an extra level of lazy on my
Yeah.
end.
We're going to have a little shindig for the 500th episode. 500th.
Yes, I have a different crown ready for that.
Oh, you've
I
got-
bought
yeah.
the expensive one.
Can I
today.
feel the?
Yeah.
Please.
Thank you.
before, I mean, we haven't locked in all details, but if you are wanting to come, you need to show your interest by emailing hi@thedailytalkshow.com, time to party in the subject.
It's time to party.
And tell them who
It's
your
time to party, yeah.
favourite character from the Daily Talk Show is.
Yeah, you can do that. But we just want to know if you'll come.
Is
It's in
Pete
Melbourne.
coming?
It's on the
29th
29th of
Tuesday, the 29th of October.
29th of October. That's our
Josh told me to
500th.
save the date, and
I'll
I
be
was
back.
like, I had it saved from episode 400.
Yes,
I've
yes.
worked it out.
Anyway, any suggestions
present.
to a couple of incapable gronks? That's
Running an
implied
event.
saying you're a gronk.
How do they sell out the event in 45 seconds?
Well, we're not going to be selling tickets. So that's the first thing.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
So that makes it easy.
We've lowered
So
the
it's
bar, but I mean,
technically
sold
there's a
out.
lot more than just selling the tickets. You got to like to put on an event.
Well, I mean, what? I don't,
What sort of
I don't know,
canapes?
think about us,
what
Taylor.
kind of event?
Don't be the
Oh,
diet preacher. Be the specific, dietitian for the gronks.
For these gronks.
Yeah. So what's
What
a
is-
tailored advice, knowing that we're just absolute gronks?
Oh, I see.
we
I
need
don't know because
security?
no. Oh, no.
That's
I'm sure
that's
you
a
know
venue
bouncers.
thing. That's a venue thing. It's a
Yeah.
venue thing and an alcohol thing.
like
whether you
I've
need
got
security.
security because it's a licensed venue.
and
And
venue
because-
has security all the time. Yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
You're arriving in a bulletproof car.
Yes.
And a red carpet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got
Soft shell
security
wear
cards.
a rolling in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
It's actually a tuk-tuk. No, what do you call them? What's the
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah,
thing
yeah.
You love the name. New York City, you ride around in them.
Rickshaw.
Yeah, we're
Rickshaw.
getting a rickshaw to ours. But any advice? What?
Well, okay, so I mean, I don't know your process, but for me, I'm just so visual. So when I was planning everything, I had a full mood board of every single element. Like,
We'll get on Pinterest.
yeah, that's what I've done. But
Mhm.
I've got a Pinterest board, and then you make Pinterest boards inside the Pinterest board. So I have one for like the flowers. I had one for the event in general.
Do you have balloons?
No, just flowers.
Oh, good.
Balloons are not on brand for Glow Journal.
Yeah.
You just have to know what's on brand and what's not on brand.
good for penguins.
Yeah, exactly.
Surprise and delight for us. Make it free.
That's not a
They're not
surprise
expecting
anymore.
much.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They
Just
come
collate
and it's like you've gone to a
references.
venue.
Yeah.
It's something that you'd pay for.
There's a
You
musical,
know what I mean?
I like that, yeah.
musical performance, acoustic.
There'll be an acoustic. There'll be tattoo artist. There'll
Wow.
be.
I would love that. I want one so
You don't
The
have
bad.
Daily Talk. Would you get the Daily Talk Show tattoo?
No.
What would you get? Let me guess. Little
Gronk?
banana on your wrist.
No.
Why I don't get it.
Some hieroglyphics
Oh,
along your arm. Yeah.
Oh no!
What's
no,
the banana
no, sorry. It's the other way. My friend, I know this girl who got what I thought was a banana. It was meant to be a half moon, but it looked like a banana.
What's the half moon?
No.
Oh, 'cause
I don't know,
Like a
mate.
something
Just get a little,
horoscope.
get a little
Yeah.
star, get a little half moon.
No. What do
You're
you,
like,
do
nice
you think I'm
banana.
some little bitch?
I don't know, mate. You want,
Your
you want us to
I'm
be
gonna
the
get a
grid girl for
butterfly
our.
on my
You want to be
lower
the
back.
grid girl for our bloody billy cart
Yeah,
race.
but that feels on brand for Gem K Watts, just not for Go Journal. No, that's more on brand for Old Mate Watsy.
yeah, definitely.
I had that.
What about
account's been
Halloween?
neglected.
What about Halloween themed?
Well, okay, so I love to dress as someone that had a costume 21st.
What did you
I-
dress up as?
It was a circus, so I was the ringleader, obviously. But other people don't like dressing up, so
Oh,
I
yeah.
had a bucket at the
Yeah.
door
Yeah.
of all like animal masks
That's a
and
good
shit.
idea.
It
Remember
was
I mentioned
genius.
that?
Yeah.
I
was
can't
like-
stand Halloween themed things. I don't know what it is. I just
Well, I just
don't
understand
care
Halloween.
at all about
We're
it.
in Australia.
Yeah, like the co-working space I'm at, like they don't do a Christmas party. Their big thing is the Halloween party. I'm just
But-
like, I just don't care.
This is
I
Australia.
just don't care. Exactly. I don't understand.
But who would you go as?
I wouldn't go. I haven't been. I've been there the last 2 years and I don't go.
Yeah.
Just because I'm like, I just don't. Doesn't
To be
make
I
honest-
sense.
don't love a sexy costume on Halloween. I think that defeats the purpose.
You went?
I've gone to a Halloween.
Well, you were.
I've got that costume.
You were a whole circle. The other. What was that
The
circle?
sumo wrestler.
Sumo, yeah.
That was a good costume because it was an around the world. I feel like you tried to wrap this up 15 minutes ago.
No,
I'm
that's
still
fine, that's
talking. It was an around the world themed party, so everyone was like an air hostess, like a French maid, and then I came as a sumo
That's
wrestler.
amazing.
Love it. Love
I've
it.
still got that. You
Yeah.
press a button and it inflates.
Yeah, I mean, you
That's
make it easy for the people coming because what
Yes.
you've done is actually just said you're going to get $300 worth of goodies in a bag,
Yes.
and I mean, I'm there.
I think Halloween. I think we could do Halloween.
Yeah,
Like
we'll
just-
get there. We'll
like-
get there.
Okay.
You know what we really need to do? Lock the venue in.
Yeah.
Didn't you say it was confirmed?
No,
Give me a
no,
mood
no.
board and I will
79?
help you.
I didn't say it was confirmed.
AU79. They
Didn't say
confirmed.
it was confirmed. I said I need to send them an email.
Josh told me it was confirmed.
We mentioned it on the show.
It's a great venue.
Yeah. But if you listen
No,
back,
I think Tommy, his words were, "We're looking at AU7."
Exactly what I said.
Yeah, I
Exactly
actually
what I
listened
said.
We're looking at the MCG as well.
I've been to an event there. It's a good venue.
it's a great venue.
Yeah. Anything else happening with you, Pete?
No,
You're
I'm
off to
flying
New
out
York?
tomorrow. Yeah,
Oh, that's great.
I'll see you guys in a few weeks.
Enjoy your trip. Make sure you get that 2-step happening in New
Thank you.
York.
I will. Yeah,
Send
it's
us
gonna
a
be fun
photo.
visiting friends.
Going to do some Instagram posts.
Visiting friends.
Yeah, visiting friends. I might do a couple of Instagram
Friend
posts.
Ross,
with me
Jennifer.
and my friends. Yep.
Sorry, Rachel.
So
But I
long.
fucked it
I
because
just
Ross
said that.
and
But I was
Nigel.
like, actually, I'm catching up with a friend called Jen, so I thought you might have been. Yeah.
It's a Daily Talk Show. Hi at thedailytalkshow.com is the email address if you want to send us an email.
It's time to party in the subject line if you
Yeah.
want to come to our live event.
Apple
What's your
Podcast.
favourite character?
Apple Podcast reviews. People can leave a review if
You're
they
going
like.
off. You guys have got heaps.
Yeah, it is going well actually. So that would be nice to continue.
I sometimes feel like I should remove my old one and leave a new one. So
I don't know
No,
if you
mate,
can.
just when you're in the Apple store, leave us a couple on all those devices.
I already did a year ago.
No, but as in go
Oh.
into an Apple
In the
store.
actual Apple.
Oh, in a store. I
store.
thought you meant like,
No.
okay.
Go to any sort of retailer with an iPhone.
Steal your mate's iPhone. I'm sure Chris has
Oh,
got an
I'll do that.
iPhone.
He does.
Yep. Old man Watsy.
No.
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 What's he
no.
rocking?
Oh, God. I don't know. He's basically got 2 polystyrene cups joined together with a string.
All right, leave us a review if you care to do so. We would love so.
Enjoy the football, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you
Catch
guys.
ya.